Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, taking a fun and exciting video for you guys today because I am playing Mega Man: The Wily Wars. If you've never played this one before, it released in both PAL as well as Japan, and in North America we never actually got a physical copy. But this isn't Mega Man: The Wily Wars, it is a ROM hack that's been updated to 3.0 status, bringing in a ton of improvements, a ton of different patches, and a lot of quality of life improvements, and even a new retranslation. And honestly, that is straight up amazing because The Wily Wars is an amazing Mega Man game, and getting a better version of it is going to be a 10 out of 10 win for everyone. And it is one of those things, Capcom does have a new Mega Man on the way, but it isn't a franchise that we see a lot of actual releases for, so fans going out there and making something that's amazing even better is always going to be good in my book. Before we get far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And just so you know, if you want to grab this patch, the link is in the description below with comprehensive change notes. I will go over some of the changes here, but I won't go over each and every one of them, because again, you can kind of mix and match some of the patches that you're going to download to create the Wily Wars experience you want. But honestly, this game, if you've never played it before, kind of feels like a lost Mega Man game because again, it never really came to North America as a physical release. And the good thing is, in this version, you can actually play this on a flash card on real Sega Genesis hardware. You can play it on MiSTer FPGA, you can play it via software emulation, basically however you want. And that definitely is a good thing, because the only wrong way to play this one is to not play it in the first place. Mega Man on Sega Genesis has such a very specific vibe, because of course this franchise was basically NES and Super Nintendo until you get to the Sega Saturn era where you start seeing some releases over there. But this one, if you're going to play one Mega Man game on Genesis, absolutely is the one to check out. And again, I love the fact that the community goes in and not only makes this possible, but makes it better, because there are a lot of balancing things done here that are going to give you a better overall gameplay experience, because when this first came out, I would say it definitely needed a little bit of balance. And I love the gigantic evil Garfield throwing yarn balls out as an enemy. Mega Man has so much creativity, and in the Wily Wars, you're going to see so many fun, inventive enemies that just very easily make you smile when you see them. And if you weren't aware, the Wily Wars is basically a Sega Genesis exclusive remake of the original Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, or at least components of those, so you can kind of just combine the best parts of those three games into one release. And this actually did get a physical release in the 2020s by Retrobit, but again, we're talking about something that happened back in the 90s. Now, as far as the improvements on offer here, the enemy invulnerability time has basically been eliminated, and that's something that made this game, I would say, maybe needlessly too hard back in the day. If you've never played a Mega Man game before, or you played some on the NES, you might understand the difficulty, but I would say that there was maybe one or two coding issues in the Wily Wars that could sometimes frustrate players that weren't difficulty for challenge's sake, but just difficulty for some sort of code issue underneath the game engine. You might be able to disagree with me, and you can leave me a comment down below, but the original Wily Wars always felt a little bit like it was being outright hostile towards you. You're also going to know that Mega Man has more shots available on screen in this version than in the previous ones as well, and that's definitely going to make a difference to the game balance. And the nice thing is, again, you can turn off some of these depending on what parts of the patch you want to use, because it kind of is portable, and that really is a fun thing, because again, in such a good game, being able to make it even better is always going to be a fun time, and there's so many different Mega Man ROM hacks out there, whether they're brand new games or improvements to Mega Man games that have already existed. If you know of one that I've never covered on the channel, leave me a comment down below and you tell me what your favorite Mega Man ROM hack is, because it absolutely is an embarrassment of riches out there when it comes to these ROM hacks. You're also going to see that you get the slide from Mega Man 1 and 2 in the game, and you've probably seen that a few times. And as we go into the first boss here, some of the bosses, not all of them, and some of the characters are actually going to have redrawn sprites as well to basically make them look better. Now again, there's going to be a lot of other improvements and changes around the edges of this, so I will leave that link with the comprehensive patch notes, because some I've already gone over and some are so small, not really exactly the type of thing I want to talk about in a video. But the main takeaway here is Mega Man gets better and better every single time I play it, and the Wily Wars has an awesome patch. Go ahead and listen to the first soundtrack sample, come back, and I'll talk about more of the changes here. So just so you know, within this actual 3.0 version of the Wily Wars, there's going to be optional MSU MD support as well. If you think about MSU 1 on the Super Nintendo, there's the MD Plus soundtracks, which are basically going to give you a higher quality audio and different tracks to play around with. Now, I basically kept this vanilla stock just because I love the music so much, but again, that is how impressive the Wily Wars 3.0 is, basically taking the totality of what different ROM hacks have occurred from back in the day and making them even better. And again, I kind of love that ethos when it comes to ROM hacks and improving games. You kind of make it a buffet for players to choose what they would like to consume, and then they can make their perfect plate, for lack of a better term, when it comes to the experience they want. Because for me, just getting the quality of life improvements and some of the balance improvements, and then giving me the Wily Wars in its 16-bit look, vibe, as well as sound, that's the experience I want to have. But for other people, you can go ahead and play around to your heart's content, so you can make your own perfect Wily Wars experience. And that is just a lot of fun because there's so many different ways to play these classic games, and giving players the ultimate control as to how they want to experience them is really nice. It means the developers here, and there are a lot, they are linked in the description below, they have decided that they're not the ones that think they know how to do things best. They make all of these amazing patches and improvements and then let players decide how they want to check them out. I really love that, not enforcing a very strict or specific way to play the game, because honestly there really isn't any right or wrong way to play a game so far as what you actually want to get out of it. And that's something I'd like to talk about on the channel a lot. If you are happy with the experience you're having, then I'm happy for you, and I'm not here to tell you something is better or worse. I'm just here to say whether or not I like it more or less. And as far as the 3.0 version of Wily Wars, I think this is de facto the definitive way to play the game, and it really goes to show just what we kind of missed out on in part in North America back in the 90s. Because it really is interesting that Capcom decided that this wasn't something they thought would sell well enough to make a run of cartridges back in the day. It is still one of the more perplexing region release differences on the Sega Genesis that basically everywhere else got a copy of this game except us, and that is again one of those weird things. And there is the new translation in here as well, if that's kind of interesting to you. I would say the old translation, not really anything wrong with it, and there really isn't that much story in Mega Man Wily Wars, because of course it is a 16-bit game, but it is here. And a lot of this has been done off the PAL version, basically making it work more on an NTSC formatting, because of course that would be 50 Hz versus 60 Hz, or 50 frames per second versus 60, but otherwise you'd have absolutely no idea any of that was done. And when you play this game, honestly, you would have absolutely no idea anything has been done to it in the first place, because it just plays, it just sounds, it just controls like the Wily Wars, except when you realize that things are different and slightly better. That's when you know that this thing actually has changes made to it. And that really is a good place to basically produce a ROM hack from, being able to say, I would have no idea that this was not a retail product unless somebody told me. And let's do one more soundtrack sample, because again, I love the music here in Wily Wars, and I love the sound of the Mega Man soundtracks coming out of the Sega Genesis sound hardware, because it has a completely different vibe than the Super Nintendo and of course the NES, which these games are based off of. But I'll be right back with a bit more. So as far as what I would change to the 3.0 version of the Wily Wars, I have absolutely no notes whatsoever. And if you're not aware, no notes is something that you never hear on a set when you're a filmmaker, when you actually go and send an edit in. No notes is always the goal, and I've never once seen it happen. And that's why I say no notes. That basically means there's nothing I would recommend, suggest, or change about this release. Just give me the controller, let me play the game, and let me talk about it in video format. And big thanks to Kilter Music for helping with the capture here as well. I made him play some Wily Wars just because I figured he had to check it out as well. But short of that, again, if you want to play this one, the link is in the description below. Go ahead and follow that. You go ahead and read all of the different notes on everything that's changed, because again, I didn't talk about every single little change here in the video. But we're done. Definitely play this one, and if you have, leave me your thoughts down below. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.